got a few options for you as far as fitting a fridge into an FJ Cruiser. As we know, FJs are pretty tight for space at the best of times, let alone when you start putting things like fridges in. What I've got for you is a couple of options. One is to fit a 38 litre Waco fridge in the back of the FJ on top of a set of drawers. Some say that it can't be done. I've actually done it. So there are some modifications that are required to the fridge slide itself and to the fridge in a small degree, basically just removing the carry handles and replacing them with the straps. Also, the second option that I've got is to remove the passenger side rear seat, fit in a mounting board or a small board to mount the fridge on. I'll also give you the dimensions on how to make that particular board. First solution is to fit the fridge on a small board in the back seat. So I've taken the back seat completely out of the car, which is very easy to do. Obviously you remove the little red tabs on the underside of the seat once you flip it back. Then I've got this little board. I'll show you the dimensions of that board in a minute when it's all out. Then you get a set of the just straps, buy those pretty much anywhere, and run it down to a little handle there. That'll lock in your Engle 38 litre in the back seat. Should add that I've removed both handles from both ends of the fridge to fit these straps and just bolted them or screwed them straight to the fridge itself. That way you gain a little bit of room without the handles. So when you're carrying it, obviously you've got to carry it by the handles. Like I said before, you've got plenty of room still there behind the seat. You know, if you want to put, you know, things like little bags in. So yeah, that's a pretty good option. As we know with FJs, space is a premium. Here's a closer look at the board, or the mounting board for the fridge. Fitted in the car. As you can see, utilised those brackets that hold the standard seat in place. That's the passenger side seat. So if you're interested in the dimensions and how that's made, what I might do is I'll put a link in the Instagram page and you can have a look at the dimensions. I'll measure it up and give you the bolt holes, spacings and everything. So that way you can have a crack at making your own. This is the underside of that same board. You need a little bit of a step up there. They're the front bolts and they're the back bolts. They come through the board like that. Then what they do is they mount here, through that one, and through that one. Obviously when you run a bolt through, you're gonna have to run a nut just on the inside of that one, or the underside. Second option is your traditional fridge slide using a ORS. So I'll show you a bit of a finer detail on how that works in a sec. So yeah, that's the Engle 38 litre. Common sense would suggest that this isn't going to fit, but I'll show you with the window open how close of it and a tight fit that really is. So yeah, she's a tight fit, but it definitely fits, doesn't hit the window. So as far as getting a fridge in on a slide with drifter drawers, that's probably the best way to do it. These ORS off-road slides actually fit with the drawer system in place, but you do need to do a slight modification to it. So as you can see, I've cut straight down here and then rounded off that back edge to match the slide itself. Then these brackets, I've had to bend them in because you've got that angle of the seat. So what I'll do is I'll put the slide in and just show you how it sits. I've got a cargo barrier, just clears everything. And I suppose I should talk about how I've attached the slide to the drawers. I've just got a series of these stainless steel nuts and bolts. So I've got two at the front, goes through the stainless steel checker plate of the drawers itself. Then I've got a couple of these little self drillers go in the front there as well. series of small screws. I run screws in these spots as well, and then I've got those same bigger bolts that go up into those back corners. So like this, those ones there, and then obviously you've got to reach up through the drawer to get into, tighten up that nut and bolt. What you can do is put one of those little pads on the tow bar to get you up a little bit higher if you're not as tall as me, and then it goes back in, and the door does close as well. Like that. So it's not up hard, there's a slight gap there. That's why you got to take those handles out, because there's just no way it'll fit with the handles on that 38 litre fridge. And you'd think it wouldn't fit with the window, but perfect. Okay, here's the measurements. So the total length of the board is from this corner to this corner is 820. The distance between this bolt and the end is 545. To the left is the passenger side of the board. Then from this bolt hole to the end is 625. Then that bolt hole, which is this one, is 135. Lengthwise from here to here is 400, and then from there to there is 200. Then when you flip it over for the base, so it's got a couple of little feet on it. So the bigger end is 100 mil, which is the driver's side, and then it's got a shorter one on the passenger side, which is 75 mil. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description or the comments to my Instagram page, and I'll post this photo up because it's probably a little bit easy to rather than trying to pause this particular video just to see those exact dimensions for the fridge mount that replaces the passenger side rear seat. While I'm at it, I'll just see how good these Just straps are. No affiliation with them. Yeah, I don't get sponsored by any of my videos. I just make it because I enjoy making content. But these are like, just pull it tight. That's how it tightens up. Then just back it off. They lift off and just pop off, and then the strap stays on the fridge itself. So yeah, they're a really good bit of kit. So highly recommend those. If you want to get really tricky, you can get a panel like this folded up. So when you're not using a fridge slide and you've got the fridge out of the car, get that little panel over the top, and then you've still got your storage area. If you've got one of the standard FJ Cruiser mats, which these are awesome, came in our car when it was new. Goes over the top. Give you a little bit of a closer look at that. So that's the FJ mat just sitting over the top of the fridge slide. Obviously if you haven't got the mat, you just get rid of that. That's the little panel that I had folded up. I've got a bit of edge stripping on there just so it doesn't cut you, not sharp. So you don't have to take your fridge slide in and out. You can just run it constantly in the back of the car. I tend to take it out anyway when I'm not using it, but yeah, it's a good little option if the fridge isn't in the car. So that's it. If you got some value out of the video, much appreciated. If you could just give us a like. Comments are great too. Even if you don't like the video, leave a comment. Tell us what you'd like to see or what I could do to improve the videos for you. Always trying to improve the content that we've got on the channel. So yeah, thanks again. We'll catch you on the next one.